2.5 years of the Brexit debate does feel like a bit of a life sentence, but why have this week sent me to one of Michael's after-hours clubs?
This is prison, not a sex dungeon. Get in your cell.
We've had months of no change, just the same old empty days, but suddenly, this week, it all changed. A top EU lawyer, I could do with one of those right now to be honest, set out his view that Article 50 could be reversed by the UK without consultation or consequence from the EU. The government then got more than a few good beatings in Parliament. It had been asked to publish the full legal advice on Brexit, but instead sent in the bombastic Attorney General to try and explain and diffuse the situation.
I would have preferred to have seen a clause that allowed us to exit if negotiations had irretrievably broken down. But I am prepared to lend my support to this agreement because I do not believe that we are likely to be entrapped in it permanently.
The other parties in the House still felt that they were being fed slop. So they joined forces and got the Speaker to launch contempt proceedings. An urgent and impassioned debate then followed.
Discipline gonna follow you if you don't shut up.
Ooh.
This motion, Mr. Speaker, is a last resort. The issue before us is simple. This House passed a binding order. The government is willfully refusing to comply with that order. That is contempt of Parliament.
The government suffered 2 defeats and was found guilty of contempt of Parliament. It duly capitulated and published the legal advice just before PMQs on Wednesday. That document didn't tell us much that we didn't already know, but it did state that Northern Ireland should remain in the customs union with the EU. Cue red mist from the DUP.
This is a clear breach of what the Prime Minister said in the House of Commons and repeatedly. And people have pointed to the fact that Geoffrey Cox has gone further than ever before in saying that this is an indefinite arrangement, no means either unilateral or any other way for the UK to get out of this backstop arrangement. I mean, this really is, I think, devastating for the Prime Minister and, you know, really points up why we needed this legal advice published.
Psst. Jeremy Corbyn steered well clear of Brexit at PMQs, but the SNP got stuck in.
This government is giving Northern Ireland permanent membership of the single market and the customs union. Since the Prime Minister returned from Brussels with her deal, the Prime Minister has been misleading the House, inadvertently or otherwise.
Later in the week, the Prime Minister tried to create a wee bit of wriggle room by suggesting that MPs could have a greater say over the backstop.
Snitches get stitches.
Ooh. As anyone in this place will tell you, things can always get worse. On Tuesday, the government suffered its 3rd defeat on a separate issue inflicted by former Attorney General Dominic Grieve. This looks set to give the Commons a greater say over Brexit if Theresa May loses that crucial vote on her deal early next week. Ooh.
Which would, in very simple terms, cure that problem and provide reassurance even before we start on these really important debates that whatever the outcome next week, we have a means of continuing the debate thereafter if we need to.
Look, my friends on the outside, I know this all seems a bit coded, but it's been interpreted as Parliament reasserting itself over the government, and some think it could lead to a second referendum or the UK adopting the Norway model.
I think that there is, as I have written recently, a real danger that the House of Commons, which has a natural Remain majority, may attempt to steal Brexit from the British people, which I think would be a democratic affront.
If you steal it, you may end up in a place like this.
Shut up and get in line, inmates.
Ooh. The big question is the effect of the Dominic Grieve amendment on the Prime Minister's own side. Will it scare Brexiteers into falling into line? Will it embolden Remainers to riot? When the Prime Minister opened her debate on her deal this week, she pleaded with her own divided side for compromise and a very split House.
We can shut our eyes to these hard truths and carry on debating between these extremes for months to come. Or we can accept that the only solution that will endure is one that addresses the concerns of those who voted leave while reassuring those who voted remain. This argument has gone on long enough. It is corrosive to our politics, and life depends on compromise.
Across this House, it's achieved something. It's united both Conservative Remainers and Conservative Leavers and members of every opposition party in an extraordinary coalition against the deal.
Once upon a time, Brexiteers might have thought that Nigel Farage would have come to save the day, but he's decided that UKIP's no longer fit for purpose under the new leader, Gerald Batten. Nige thinks he's letting in the far right.
Far right? That's Trump, right? He's gonna build that wall.
I don't recognise the party as being the one that I helped to found and fought for all of those years. I believe the brand has been now so damaged, so tarnished, that it's not able to pick up and won't be able to pick up the political opportunity that's there, staring it in the face. And so with very great reluctance, I have, as of now, resigned my membership of UKIP.
Smuggling liquor? You gonna suffer our worst punishment, girl. 100 days confinement with Andrew Neil.
No, not that again. No, anything.